Rocky? You believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Apollo Creed meets the Italian stallion.
Hi, my name is Rocky Balboa.
What you did was a miracle. You're the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I want you to know that, Stallion.
Do I look lucky?
You had the talent to become a good fighter, and instead of that, you became a leg breaker.
This guy, as a young man, had a dream.
I truly believe, and people throw the word around dreams, it's all about dreams, you know, and by the way, dreams cost nothing, they're free. The hard part is just keeping them going, and please keep them going.
Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge.
I had to teach myself early on, expect to fail. Expect it. Covet it, welcome it, it's going to happen, but it's not a permanent state. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. At the very end of our lives, if we can still say, you know, we were never humbled, we were knocked down, but we got up, and I can say, I lived life with integrity, and I took all the blows, and I still prevailed, I think that's a good epitaph for anyone. I also realize that you can't be alone. To really succeed, no man really is an island, and I think, personally speaking, that's happened to me too. When you find the right components in your life, the right people that gel with you, then you feel as though you're invincible. It may be a fallacy, but you at least feel as though you can take all that life has to dish out. I had like $106 in the bank. I had to sell my dog, and things were not looking very, very good. But still, it didn't matter. I wanted to stick with it.
This guy, as a young man, had a dream to become a big movie star, to come to Hollywood and to become a great director and producer and a writer, and all those kind of dreams he had. Of course, everyone told him it can't be done. But you know, he wouldn't take no for an answer, and he moved across from New York to Los Angeles to Hollywood. And of course, one day, after struggling, like we all do in the beginning, to get into TV and into movies, he had this idea of writing a script. And in longhand, he wrote this script, which was Rocky. And of course, the rest is history.
I truly believe, and people throw the word around dreams, it's all about dreams, you know, and by the way, dreams cost nothing, they're free. The hard part is just keeping them going, and please keep them going, because we're here for one simple reason. He believed in the dream, I believed in the dream, and our dreams come true, and there's no reason every one of yours can't either. I used to sit in this little apartment, and it was a room. As a matter of fact, the room was so small, I remember I was able to open up the window and close the door while sitting on the bed at the same time. It was like 8 feet by 9 feet. The one thing about that room, there was really very little distraction, so I would sit there propped up in bed, and I'd go out with my big pen and legal pad and just start writing these stories, and most of them were very, very trivial. There was something about the process of unrealized dreams. I was always brought back to this subject because I think it's one of the most enduring subjects and one of the most difficult passages for people to accept, that they never were realized in their own lifetime, that they just didn't get that shot. There was a time to come to California, so I went to California, and then one night I went to see Muhammad Ali fight Chuck Wepner. For one brief moment, this supposed stumblebum turned out to be magnificent in the fact that he lasted and knocked the champion down. I said, boy, if this isn't a metaphor for life. His entire life crystallized at that moment. He will be remembered for all eternity, at least among the fight fans. He did something extraordinary. I said, now that is probably what I need as a catalyst for an idea. A man who's going to stand up to life and take one shot and maybe go the distance. So I started to write. I first met Bob Shardoff and Irwin Winkler, and I believe I was there on a casting call. So we're talking a little bit, and I guess I really wasn't right for the acting part. And on the way out, I said, oh, I don't know if it matters, but I do a little bit of writing. He goes, really? I said, yeah, as I'm writing this story, I have this thing about wrestlers, and I might do something about boxing. Well, he says, well, bring it around. And I thought, if I hadn't stopped on the way out, that's why I tell all actors or writers, don't give up, keep talking. Eventually you might hit a nerve somewhere and they go, come on back. If they didn't say, come on back, or bring it later and let's see what you've developed, I wouldn't be sitting here. So I have to give incredible credit to their insight and their patience, and they're willing to take a chance, which doesn't exist much anymore, unfortunately. Originally, when I brought the script to them, they were fairly enthusiastic about it. The one thing they were not enthusiastic about was me playing the part.
The story about you not giving them the script without agreeing to you starring in it, that is true.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was just one of those crossroads situations that every artist faces early on. Go left, go right, and if you make the wrong decision, you sometimes regret it forever. And I just knew I wasn't a very good student, but I decided I always understood dialogue, whatever, so I wrote something that I know I could do, that I could feel good with, and that could show everything that is possible in my repertoire. It was like one of those things where you really roll the dice, and it paid off, but it was a big long shot. But there was something inside of me that, this opportunity is never going to come around. And I really wasn't used to money, and I had no idea what I would be missing. But the temptation started to come forward. First it was 25 grand, then $100,000. I never heard of 100,000 because I had like $106 in the bank. And like I said, I had to sell my dog, and things were not looking very, very good. My $40 car had just blown up, so I was taking a bus to work. But still, it didn't matter. I wanted to stick with it. Then it went up to 150,000, 175,000. It went up to 250,000. Now my head was starting to spin. And I thought, all right, you've really managed poverty very well. You've got this down to a science. You really don't need much to live on. I had like sort of figured it out. So I was not any way used to the good life. I know in the back of my mind, if I sell this script and it does very, very well, I'm going to be very, very upset. So this is one of those things where you just roll the dice and you fly by the proverbial seat of your pants. Say, all right, I got to try it. I got to just do it. I may be totally wrong, and I'm going to be taking a lot of people down with me, but I just believe in it. I had to teach myself early on, expect to fail. Expect it. Covet it, welcome it, it's going to happen. It's not a permanent state. The most valuable thing you might have in your life that you really don't pay attention to, especially when you're young, because you just feel you have an abundance of it. It's never ending. Time. And as you get older, you realize time becomes your currency. When you realize there's less runway up ahead than behind, you sometimes learn that too late. So I'm telling you people that you really have to be very stingy with your time. Don't waste it on people that aren't like-minded. Don't waste it doing things that you know are not part of your dream plan. Don't waste time being bitter, which I know I've been argumentative. I understand the meaning of hate. Because in the end, it's just waste your most valuable asset, time. We basically are in a movie from the time we're born. And then when you get to be around 18, 20, you're now the director of your movie, which is called life. And I ask, knowing that if you were in a movie of your own making, would you be proud of the part you're playing? I certainly wasn't. And I took drastic steps to change all that. The point being, if you're producing this film called You, make it the way you want to make it.